On our 5th wedding anniversary, my billionaire husband raised his champagne glass and announced that our marriage was over. Everyone applauded. His mistress stood beside him, wearing the diamond bracelet I had bought with my own money. Then, he handed me divorce papers. I smiled, signed them, and walked away. What he didn't know was that the company he thought he owned had been secretly transferred into my name 3 days earlier. And what I didn't know was that he hadn't betrayed me for another woman. He had married me because someone had ordered him to. The ballroom fell silent when I placed the signed divorce papers on the table. Ethan Sterling stared at them. "You signed?" I smiled. "You asked for a divorce. I didn't think you'd actually." "Why wouldn't I?" His jaw tightened. Across the room, Sofia Lane lowered her champagne glass. She wasn't smiling anymore. Good. For 5 years, Sofia had been the woman everyone whispered about, the beautiful executive assistant who somehow became the CEO's business partner, the woman who traveled with my husband, the woman whose name appeared beside his in confidential hotel records. And tonight, she had finally gotten what she wanted. Or so she thought. I picked up my purse. "Happy anniversary, Ethan." He caught my wrist. "Vivian." I looked down at his hand. "Let go." He didn't. His voice dropped. "Not here." I laughed softly. "You've spent 5 years embarrassing me in public. Why are you suddenly worried about privacy?" His eyes flashed. "You don't understand what's happening." "Oh, I understand perfectly." I leaned closer. "You want Sofia." Sofia stepped forward. "Vivian, that's not—" "Don't." She stopped. I looked at her. "You've been waiting 5 years." Her face went pale. "You can have him." Then I looked at Ethan. "But you'll regret getting what you wanted." I pulled my wrist free. The ballroom doors opened. I walked out. Nobody followed me. That was the first surprise. The second came. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. "Mrs. Sterling." I stopped. "Who is this?" "My name is Arthur Bell. I'm the chairman of Sterling Holdings." I laughed. "I thought Ethan was chairman." "He is." "Then why are you calling me?" "Because he won't be chairman tomorrow." I stopped walking. "What?" Arthur lowered his voice. "Mrs. Sterling, you need to leave the city tonight." "Why?" "Because your husband just triggered a clause in the Sterling family trust." "What clause?" A pause. "The one that activates when the CEO divorces the woman named in the original succession agreement." My smile disappeared. "What woman?" "Your name." I stared at the elevator doors. "What?" Arthur said something that made my entire world tilt. "Vivian Hart Sterling. You are not Ethan Sterling's wife because of a love story." He took a breath. "You are his controlling shareholder." I almost laughed. "That's impossible." "No. Ethan owns Sterling Holdings. That's what everyone believes." "Then who owns it?" "You." The elevator doors opened. I didn't step inside. Arthur continued. "And if Ethan completes the divorce tomorrow morning, the transfer becomes permanent." I felt cold. "What transfer?" "Everything." "Everything?" "The company, the trusts, the patents, the offshore holdings. Why would they belong to me?" "Because your late father arranged it." I stopped breathing. "My father died when I was 12, Arthur said quietly. "That's what you were told." The call ended. I stood alone in the hotel corridor. Then another message appeared. "Unknown number. Don't trust Arthur Bell." I stared at it. A second message followed. "Or Ethan." A third. "Especially not your husband." I looked back toward the ballroom. Through the glass doors, I could see Ethan. He was standing beside Sofia, but he wasn't celebrating. He was staring directly at me, and he looked terrified. I drove home alone. Our mansion was dark. The staff had gone. Ethan hadn't returned. I walked into my office. The room looked exactly as I'd left. My father's old desk, his leather chair, the locked cabinet he'd told me never to open. I had obeyed for 17 years. Tonight, I didn't. I found the key taped beneath the desk. My hands shook as I opened the cabinet. Inside was a single black folder. No name, no date, only a silver symbol stamped across the cover. A crown inside a circle. I opened it. The first page contained one sentence. "If Vivian discovers this file, Ethan has failed." I froze. The next page had my photograph, then Ethan's, then Sofia's. Under my photograph, subjectate A. Under Ethan's, protector. Under Sofia's, secondare, YHEIR. I turned the page. A marriage certificate. My name. Ethan's name. But the date was wrong. It was dated 8 months before we'd met. I stared. That was impossible. I turned another page. A photograph beside him. But I was 17. Ethan was 21. I didn't remember that day. Then the memory hit me. A white hallway, a man crying, a woman screaming, Ethan holding my hand. I dropped the photograph. No. Someone behind me said, "You remembered." I spun around. Ethan stood in the doorway. His tie was gone. His shirt sleeves were rolled up. He looked exhausted. "How long have you known?" He didn't answer. I held up the file. "What is this?" He closed the door. "Where did you find it? Answer me." "Vivian, you married me because of this." His silence was enough. I laughed. "Wow. It's not what you think. That's what every cheating husband says. I never cheated on you." I stared at him. "Sofia? She was assigned to me." "Assigned?" "Yes." "For what?" "To protect you." I laughed again. "From what?" He looked at the folder. "Your family." My smile disappeared. "What family?" "The family you think is dead." He walked toward me. I stepped back. "Don't come closer." He stopped. "Your father wasn't killed in an accident." I felt my throat tighten. "What happened?" "He disappeared." "Where?" "I don't know." "You've known this for 5 years." "Yes." "You knew my father was alive?" "I knew. He might be." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because he told me not to." I stared at him. "Lie." Ethan looked away. "Because he believed someone inside Sterling Holdings was trying to kill you." I looked at the file again. "Then why divorce me?" He swallowed. "Because tonight was the only way I could protect you." I laughed bitterly. "By humiliating me?" "Yes." "By making everyone think Sofia was replacing me?" "Yes." "By handing me divorce papers?" "Yes." I shook my head. "You're a terrible liar." "I know." "Then tell me the truth." He stepped closer. "I was ordered to marry you." My heart stopped. "But I wasn't ordered to fall in love with you." Silence. For the first time that night, he looked vulnerable. I failed at that part. I looked away. I didn't know what hurt more. The betrayal, or the possibility that every kiss we'd shared had started as an assignment. You used me. At first. And now? Now I'd burn the entire company down to keep you alive. I stared at him. Then my phone rang. "Arthur Bell." I answered. "Mrs. Sterling? Are you with Ethan?" "Yes." "Leave the house." "Why?" "Because someone just accessed the family vault." Ethan stiffened, whispered, "Your father's biometric signature." The line went dead. Ethan looked at me. "Pack a bag." "No, Vivian. If my father is alive, I'm finding him. You don't know what you're walking into." I've spent 5 years being told what I can and can't know. I picked up the black folder. "I'm done asking." Ethan stared at me, then nodded. "Fine." He pulled a gun from the back of his waistband. I stared. "You have a gun?" "Tonight, yes." "Do you normally carry one?" "Normally I have 3. I blinked. He gave me a tired look. "Come on." We left through the garage. The moment the gates opened, 2 black SUVs appeared. Ethan accelerated. The first SUV followed. The second cut us off. "Hold on." He swerved. The SUV slammed into us. I screamed. Ethan grabbed the wheel. "Are you hurt?" "No." "Good." He hit the brakes. The SUV shot past. He reversed violently, then drove through the side gate. We escaped into the city. I stared at him. Who were they? "Not police." "How do you know?" "They were driving armored vehicles." "That doesn't answer anything." "They had Sterling security plates." I went cold. "My own company." "Yes." "Why would Sterling Security attack us?" "Because someone inside the company knows you have the file." "What happens if they get it?" "They'll know you're aware." "And then?" He looked at me. "They'll stop pretending to want your divorce." I swallowed. "What will they want?" "You dead." We drove for 20 minutes. Then Ethan turned into an underground parking garage. A concrete wall opened. I stared. "Where are we?" "My real office." "You have a secret office?" "I have 7. "Of course you do." We entered a hidden elevator. It descended. When the doors opened, I stepped into a massive command center. Screens covered every wall: maps, bank accounts, corporate records, security feeds, photographs. Ethan walked to the central desk. "This is where I work when I don't want the board watching." I stared at the screens. One displayed my name. Another displayed Sofia's. Another displayed Arthur Bell's. Then I saw a fourth. My father's photograph. I ran toward it. Where? Ethan grabbed my arm. Wait. The screen showed live footage. An old man walked through a warehouse. I knew him immediately. Even older, thinner, but it was him. My father, alive. I touched the screen. Where is he? Ethan pulled up the location. 20 miles east. Take me there. It's a trap. I don't care. We need backup. No. Vivian, if that's my father, I'm going. He stared at me, then smiled slightly. You really are impossible. That's why you married me. His smile disappeared. Maybe. We reached the warehouse 40 minutes later. The building was empty. No guards. No cars. No lights. I stepped inside. Dad. Nothing. Then a projector turned on. A video appeared. My father sat in a chair. His hands were tied. His face was bruised. Vivian, I ran toward the screen. Dad, the recording continued. If you're seeing this, they know. Who? He looked directly into the camera. The people who control Sterling. The video flickered. Don't trust Ethan. I turned. Ethan went still. My father continued. He was never supposed to protect you. I looked at Ethan. Then what was he supposed to do? The video froze. A gunshot exploded through the warehouse. The projector shattered. Ethan tackled me. Another bullet struck the wall. We rolled behind a concrete pillar. Stay down. How many? 3. You're sure? 4. A gunman moved across the upper level. Ethan fired. The man dropped another shot. Ethan fired again. Silence. I looked around. Are they dead? Running. He grabbed my hand. We're leaving. No. What? I pointed to the floor. A small metal case lay beneath the projector. Ethan opened it. Inside was a key and a note. F. Over my daughter. Hands trembled. I opened it. Vivian, if you are reading this, I failed to protect you. Do not trust the Sterling family. Do not trust the board. And most importantly, do not trust the person who tells you your marriage was arranged for your protection. Your marriage was arranged for something else. Something far more dangerous. The key will open the first vault. The second vault will tell you who your mother really was. The third will tell you why Ethan chose you. And when you reach the fourth, run. I stared at the final word, me to run. Ethan looked at the key, because he knew you'd find it. We returned to the hidden office. The key opened an old digital vault. A single file appeared. MARREGPROTOCIL. Ethan stared. I've never seen this. I opened it. The document was written 20 years earlier. My name was listed as the future bride. Ethan's name was listed as the future husband. The agreement had been signed by 4 people. My father, Ethan's father, Arthur Bell, and my mother. I stared at the last signature. My mother had been dead for 17 years. Why would she sign this? Ethan read the next paragraph. His face changed. What? He looked at me. The marriage wasn't created to protect Sterling Holdings. Then what? He pointed at the final clause. I read it. Upon completion of the 5th wedding anniversary, the controlling heir shall receive full access to the Hart legacy. I frowned. What's the Hart legacy? Ethan shook his head. I don't know. A new document opened automatically. Property TARANSSVR. I stared. The Hart legacy wasn't money. It was ownership of something much larger. Centers, technology firms, private banks, media companies, even Sterling Holdings. All of them had been placed into one trust, and the beneficiary was me. I whispered. Why didn't I know? Ethan's voice was quiet. Because the trust was designed to activate only when you divorced me. I looked at him. So tonight, you became the owner. A message appeared. Transfer complete. I stared. Then another. Welcome, Chairwoman Hart. Ethan smiled. You just became the most powerful person in the company. I didn't smile. Because one more document had opened. DBTO Belai GHERN. I clicked it. The screen filled with numbers. Hundreds of billions in hidden liabilities. Every company I now owned was drowning in debt. I stared. They transferred the assets. Yes, but not the debt. Ethan nodded. They've given me everything. And buried you under it. I laughed. The situation was so absurd that laughing was the only thing left. They want me to own an empire that collapses tomorrow. Yes, and then they'll blame me. Yes. I looked at him. You knew this was possible. I suspected. Then why didn't you stop the divorce? Because alternative was worse. What? He didn't answer. The screen suddenly displayed a live broadcast. Arthur Bell stood at a press conference. Behind him was Sophia. Arthur looked into the cameras, effective immediately. Vivian Hart Sterling is no longer associated with Sterling Holdings. I stared. What? Arthur continued. She has been removed due to financial misconduct. I laughed. Already? Ethan's jaw tightened. Then Arthur said the sentence that made my blood run cold. We regret to announce that she is currently missing. The reporters shouted questions. Sophia stood beside him. Her face looked devastated. Then the broadcast changed. A photograph of me appeared. Under it, weaned. Ethan nodded. They planned this before tonight. I looked at the screen. Arthur continued. We believe Mrs. Sterling may have fled the country. I smiled. They want me to run. Yes, so they'll have a reason to arrest me. Yes, I stood. Then we give them one. Ethan frowned. What? I picked up the black folder. We let them think I ran. And where do you go? Back to the ballroom. He stared at me. That's insane. Probably. You're wanted for fraud. Exactly. Everyone will be watching. Exactly. He smiled. You're enjoying this. A little. We returned to the anniversary hotel. The gala was still going. News cameras surrounded the entrance. Police were everywhere. My photograph was already on television screens. I walked through the front doors. Every head turned. Someone screamed, "That's her!" Police moved toward me. Ethan stepped forward. "Don't touch her." One officer raised his weapon. "Mrs. Sterling, you're under arrest." I smiled. "On what charge?" "Fraud." "Good." I held out my hands. "Arrest me?" The officer hesitated. The ballroom fell silent. Then I looked directly at the cameras. "I have one statement." Reporter surged forward. Ethan looked at me like I had lost my mind. I smiled. Sterling Holdings has been stealing from its shareholders for years. Arthur Bell's face appeared on a large screen behind the stage. I continued. "And I have the evidence." The room exploded. Arthur stood up somewhere off stage. "What are you doing?" I smiled at the cameras. "I'm exposing my husband." Everyone turned toward Ethan. His expression was unreadable. I whispered, "Trust me." Then I raised the black folder. The first file contains 600 forged contracts. The crowd gasped. The second contains secret transfers. More shouting. The third contains evidence of illegal acquisitions. Arthur's face turned white. And the fourth contains something much worse. I looked at Ethan. He nodded. I opened my mouth. Then every screen in the ballroom went black. A voice came through the speakers. "That's enough." The crowd fell silent. A man walked onto the stage. I recognized him. Lucian Sterling, Ethan's father, the man everyone believed had died 18 years ago. Ethan froze. "Dad," Lucian smiled. "Hello, son." I stared. Ethan whispered, "You're dead." Lucian laughed. "I was." Then he looked at me. "But your father made the mistake of bringing me back." I stepped forward. "Where's my father?" Lucian smiled. "Safe." "Where?" "Closer than you think." The lights went out. When they returned, Lucian was gone. So was Sophia. And Ethan's father had left one thing behind. A photograph. My father standing beside him. And behind them was my childhood home. On the back of the photograph, 3 words were written. "Your mother lives." I stared at the words. My mother had supposedly died when I was 12. My father had supposedly died 6 years later. Ago. Yet all 3 were alive. And someone had been moving them around like pieces on a chessboard. I looked at Ethan. "Where is the 4th vault?" He stared at the photograph. "I don't know. Find it." "I will. Because I'm done being the victim." He nodded. We returned to the hidden office. The 4th vault required 2 fingerprints. Mine. And Ethan's. The door opened. Inside was a single chair, a camera, and a recording. My mother appeared on the screen. She looked directly at me. "Vivian." I sat down. "I know you hate me." I swallowed. "I know you have every reason to." She took a breath. "But there is one thing you need to understand." The screen displayed a photograph of a newborn baby. Then another. 2 babies. Identical. I froze. "Those are twins," my mother said. I stopped breathing. "One of them is you." The second photograph showed another baby. "Sophia." I stared. My mother continued. "Only one of you was supposed to survive." I whispered. "Why?" "Because the crown needed one heir." I stared at the screen. What's the crown? My mother looked terrified. Not a company. Then what? Your family. The recording ended. I sat in silence. Ethan stood behind me. My family? He nodded slowly. Your family created the network. No, yes, and you knew? I suspected. Why didn't you tell me? Because I needed proof. I turned. You always need proof. He looked at me. Because without it, they kill people. I stared. Who? He didn't answer. His phone rang. He answered. Hello? His face changed. Where? He listened. I'm coming. He hung up. What? He looked at me. It was Sofia. What did she say? She found your father. My heart jumped. Where? Ethan picked up his jacket. Under Sterling Tower. I frowned. There's nothing under Sterling Tower. He looked at me. There is now. We drove through the night. The tower rose above the city like a black blade. Security recognized Ethan immediately. No one stopped us. We entered the private elevator. It descended. 30 floors, 40, 50. The display stopped at B17. The doors opened. Sofia stood there. Her face was bruised. Her hands were tied. I ran toward her. Who did this? She shook her head. Your father. I stopped. What? He brought me here. Why? He wanted you to come. Ethan looked around. Where is he? Sofia pointed toward a steel door. He's inside. I opened it. My father stood in the center of the room. Alive. Free. And smiling. But beside him stood another man. Victor Sterling. And between them was my mother. Alive. My mother looked at me. I'm sorry. My father whispered. You were never supposed to find this room. And now that she has. The lights came on. The entire wall behind them was covered in photographs. Every stage of my life. My childhood. My marriage. My company. My first date with Ethan. My wedding. My anniversary tonight. Every moment had been recorded. Long. Victor answered. Your entire life. My mother cried. We were trying to protect you. I laughed. Everyone says that. Victor stepped forward. You still don't understand. Then, explain. He smiled. The woman you spent your life believing you are. He pointed at the photographs. Doesn't exist. My father closed his eyes. Victor continued. You are not Vivian Hart. I stared. Then who am I? He smiled. You're the original heir. I waited. To what? He looked at Ethan. To everything. I shook my head. No. Victor's smile widened. And tomorrow the entire world will learn your real name. The room went silent. My mother whispered it. Evelyn. I stared at her. Evelyn what? She looked at my father. He answered. Evelyn Sterling. Ethan stepped forward. That's impossible. Victor laughed. That's what everyone thought. I looked at Ethan. He looked. Shattered. Victor's voice became softer. Your marriage was never designed to make Ethan rich. He pointed at me. It was designed to put the heir beside the future king. I frowned. Future king? Victor smiled. Ethan. Silence. Ethan stared at him. You're lying. No. You said I was a protector. I lied. I looked at Ethan. He looked at me. Victor continued. The Sterling family has spent generations preparing for this. I felt sick. You arranged our marriage. Yes. You arranged Sofia. Yes. You arranged the attacks. Yes. You arranged the attacks. Yes. You arranged the divorce. Victor smiled. Yes. Why? He looked directly at me. Because the final phase requires one thing. What? A queen. I laughed. I'm not your queen. Victor smiled. Not yet. The doors behind us locked. A timer appeared. 24. 0 o'clock. My father looked terrified. What happens tomorrow? Victor turned toward the screens. The crown goes public. And he looked at me. Evelyn Sterling will be announced as its new leader. I stared at the timer. 24 hours. 24 hours before the entire world would be told I was someone I had never known. Before I could respond. Victor's phone rang. He answered. His face changed. What? Silence. Then he looked at me. That's impossible. What? He slowly lowered the phone. The board has been hacked. Ethan stepped forward. By who? Victor stared at me. Her. I frowned. I didn't do anything. Victor shook his head. Not you. He looked toward the ceiling. Someone using your identity. The screen suddenly flickered. A woman's face appeared. Young, beautiful, terrifyingly familiar. I stared. She smiled. Hello, sister. Sofia screamed. My mother collapsed into a chair. My father whispered. Number. Ethan looked at me. Who is that? I couldn't answer, because the woman on the screen looked exactly like me. She smiled. I'm Vivian Hart. The screen went black. The timer continued. 23 hours 59 minutes and 41 seconds. The room went silent. Nobody moved. I stared at the black screen. Then I looked at Ipinio, my mother. Who was that? She didn't answer. Mom. Her lips trembled. She shouldn't exist. That was not an answer. I grabbed her shoulders. Who was she? My father stepped between us. Vivian, listen to me. My name isn't Vivian. He froze. I pointed at the screen. She just called herself Vivian. My voice cracked. So who am I? My mother closed her eyes. Evelyn. I shook my head. No more lies. She whispered. You were born Evelyn Sterling. I looked at Ethan. He was staring at the floor. You knew. He slowly nodded. How long? 3 months. My chest tightened. You knew for 3 months that I wasn't Vivian? I found out 3 months ago. And you still let me sleep beside you? I didn't know how to tell you. I laughed. You could have started with, honey, your entire identity is fake. He almost smiled. Almost. Then the building shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Sophia looked toward the door. They found us. Who? She swallowed. The people working for the other Vivian. Ethan immediately drew his gun. Everybody move. My father grabbed my arm. There's another exit. I'm not leaving. You will if you want to survive. No. I looked at him. I'm done. Running. The first gunshot tore through the steel door. Everyone ducked. Another bullet. Then another. Ethan fired through the doorway. Move. We rushed toward the emergency tunnel. I heard boots behind us. Dozens of them. The tunnel was narrow and dark. My mother stumbled. I caught her. You okay? She nodded. Then she whispered, Don't trust Sophia? I stopped. What? My mother looked at her. Sophia was running ahead. She isn't the twin. I frowned. What does that mean? My mother grabbed my hand. It means the woman on the screen wasn't Vivian. Then who was she? My mother looked terrified. She was the third. The lights suddenly turned red. Ethan stopped. What third? My mother didn't answer. A voice came through the tunnel speakers. You finally figured it out. I recognized the voice. The woman from the screen. Evelyn. I looked up. Show yourself. Why? Because I'm tired of talking to screens. A soft laugh echoed through the tunnel. You always were impatient. Who are you? You remember. I don't remember you. You were 3 years old when we met. I froze. The voice continued. You called me mommy. My mother's face collapsed. No, I turned toward her. Mom? The voice laughed. She lied to you. A screen appeared on the wall. Old footage. A little girl sat in a white room. Me, 3 years old. Beside me was the woman from the screen. But she wasn't calling herself Vivian. She was wearing a hospital badge. Dr. Vivian VAL. My stomach turned. The video continued. The little girl looked up. Mommy? The woman smiled. Yes, sweetheart. Then another woman entered. My mother. She was younger. She carried a baby. The camera zoomed in. 2 identical newborns. I stared. My mother whispered, That was the day. What day? The day they separated you? I couldn't breathe. Separated me from whom? She looked at the screen. Your sister, I pointed. The baby? She nodded. But you said Sophia was my sister. She is. Then who was the other baby? My mother began crying. Your sister. I felt dizzy. There were 3? No. She shook her head. There were 2. I looked at the footage again. 2 babies. One was me. The other was. I stopped. The second baby's face was hidden. The recording ended. The woman returned to the screen. You're getting close. I stepped toward it. Why are you doing this? Because your family stole my life. What does that mean? My name was Vivian Vale. She smiled. You were named after me. My heart stopped. My name. Yes. Then why did everyone call me Vivian? Because I was the first Vivian. I looked at my mother. Wouldn't meet my eyes. The woman continued. Your mother took my identity. I whispered. Why? Because I created the crown. Victor's voice suddenly came through another speaker. Don't listen to her. The woman laughed. Still hiding behind other people, Victor. His face appeared on the screen. You're dead. So are you. He went silent. She smiled. Yet here we are. Ethan stepped toward the screen. What do you want? She looked at him. You. His face hardened. Why? Because you're the only person who can open the final vault. Ethan frowned. I don't know any final vault. You will. She turned toward me. And when you open it, Evelyn will finally remember everything. The screen went black. Ethan looked at me. Remember what? I shook my head. I don't know. Then I heard a whisper. Not from the speakers. Inside my head, a little girl's voice. Run. I froze. The memory hit me. A hallway. A fire. Someone holding my hand. My sister screaming. A man dragging her away. And me screaming a name. Vivian. I dropped to my knees. Ethan caught me. What happened? I stared at him. I remember. What? The fire. My mother covered her face. I looked at her. You were there. She nodded. You took me away. Yes. You left my sister. Her voice broke. I thought she was dead. I looked toward the dark tunnel. But she wasn't. No. Who took her? My mother looked at Victor. He said nothing. Stood. Who? Victor finally answered. Your father. I stared at my father. He looked broken. Why? He whispered. Because he believed he was saving her. Saving her from what? He looked at me. From you. The words hit harder than any bullet. From me. You were the dangerous one. I laughed. I was 3. You were different. How? He couldn't answer. I stepped closer. How? He finally whispered. You remembered things you weren't supposed to. What things? The crown. I stared. What did I remember? He looked at the ceiling. Everything. The tunnel lights flickered. Then the doors opened. Nobody was standing outside. Ethan raised his gun. Trap. I nodded. Definitely. My father looked at the open corridor. We have to go. No. He stared at me. Why? Because that's exactly what they want. I pointed toward the door. They've spent 20 years moving us around. So for once we don't follow the script. Ethan smiled. What do you suggest? I looked at the security panel. Give me access. Why? Because this entire building belongs to me. He handed me his access card. I inserted it. The system rejected it. Access denied. I laughed. Of course. Then I remembered the black folder, the symbol, the crown inside the circle. I placed my palm against the panel. Nothing happened. I whispered, Evelyn Sterling. The screen flickered. Biomt trick match. Octophorized, the doors throughout the building unlocked. Ethan stared. You just opened everything, apparently. Moving hundreds of people appeared on the security feeds. Security teams, executives, lawyers, board members. They were all running. Ethan checked another screen. Someone is evacuating the tower. Who? He zoomed in. Arthur Bell. I smiled. Then let's stop him. We reached the main lobby. Arthur was halfway to the exit. He saw me. His face went white. Vivian. I walked toward him. Wrong name. He stopped. Evelyn. Better. He looked at Ethan. You brought her here. Ethan didn't answer. Arthur looked terrified. You don't understand what you've activated. I smiled. Everyone keeps saying that. Arthur backed away. Your father wasn't supposed to tell you. Tell me what? The crown doesn't belong to one family. I frowned. Then who owns it? Arthur swallowed. Whoever survives the succession. I laughed. That's ridiculous. No. He pointed toward the elevators. Look, the doors opened. 20 men and women stepped into the lobby, all wearing black, all carrying identical silver pins. The crown symbol. Arthur whispered, the council. One of them stepped forward. Evelyn Sterling. I looked at him. Who are you? The person who will decide whether you live. Ethan raised his gun. The man smiled. You won't shoot? Want to test that? No, he looked at me. Because she won't allow it. I frowned. Who? The giant lobby screens turned on. The woman appeared again, the false Vivian. She smiled. Hello, sister. I walked toward the screen. Stop calling me that. Why? Because I don't know you. You will. She looked at the council. Leave. The council members immediately turned around. Arthur stared. They obey you? They obey the creator. I looked at the screen. You said you created the crown. I did. Then, why does everyone call me the heir? She smiled. Because I couldn't inherit it. Why? Because I died. Silence. I stared. You're dead, technically. What does that mean? My body died. She leaned closer to the camera. My mind didn't. Ethan looked at me. AI. I frowned. The woman smiled. Very good. I felt sick. You're not a person. I was. And now I'm the crown. The entire lobby went silent. The woman continued. Every account, every surveillance system, every company, every secret. I control them. I stared at the screens. You've been watching me. Yes. Manipulating me. Yes. Why? Because I needed you to become strong enough. Strong enough for what? Her smile disappeared. To destroy me. I froze. What? She looked genuinely afraid. The crown has become something I can no longer control. I stared at her. You created it. Yes. And now you're asking me to destroy T. Yes, why not destroy it yourself? I tried. She paused. It wouldn't let me. I felt it chill. What won't let you? The part of the crown that wasn't mine. I looked at the council. They stood perfectly still. Who created that part? She whispered, Your father. Everyone turned toward my father. He closed his eyes. I walked toward him. Dad! He didn't move. Tell me. He sighed. I was afraid of what you would become. What did you build? The succession protocol. What is it? A system designed to choose the strongest heir. I frowned. Strongest how? Financially. That's all? No. He looked at me. Emotionally. My stomach tightened. What does that mean? The system creates situations. Situations? Betrayal. Loss. Fear. Love. He looked at Ethan. Marriage. I stared at him. You turned my marriage into a test. Yes. You made Ethan betray me. Yes. You made me think he cheated. Yes. You destroyed my life. He looked down. To build the person who could survive the crown, I laughed. You're insane. I know. Then the lobby doors exploded inward. Gunfire erupted. Everyone dropped. The council scattered. Ethan grabbed me and dragged me behind a prostrate marble pillar. Stay down. Who are they? He looked through the gap. Not the council. Then who? Army? What? Private army. The false Vivian appeared on every screen. Evelyn. What? Now. Now what? Choose. Choose what? Your first command. I stared at the screens. The entire Crown network was waiting. One command. One decision. I could destroy the attackers. I could expose the council. I could shut down every bank. I could erase the entire system. Or I could do something else. I looked at Ethan, then Sophia, then my parents, then Arthur, everyone who had used me, everyone who had decided what I should become. I looked at the woman calling herself Vivian. What happens if I refuse? She smiled. Then the crown chooses for you. The timer appeared again. 18 hours, 42 minutes, and 9 seconds. I stared. Then I refuse. The woman went silent. The crown began flashing red. Warning. Succession rejection. A autonomous protocol activated. My father screamed, No! What? The system will select another heir. Who? He looked at Ethan. I followed his gaze. Ethan's face went pale. No. The screen changed. Primary Altier Ernative Hadev Hayar. Ethan no. He fan. Tayer. Lang. I stared at my husband. He stared back. Then every weapon in the lobby turned toward him. The false Vivian whispered, Now you understand. I stepped in front of Ethan. The guns followed me. I raised my hands. Stop. The entire lobby froze. The system waited. I looked at Ethan. You told me once you'd burn the company down for me. Yes, would you? Without hesitation. I smiled. Good. I turned toward the cameras. Then let's burn it down. Ethan looked at me. Vivian. I smiled. My name is Evelyn. Then I gave the crown its first command. Delete the throne. Every screen went black. Every gun dropped. Every bank account froze. Every corporate network disconnected. Across the world, the crown went silent. For 3 seconds, then the screens came back. A single message appeared. Command accepted. But underneath it, another line appeared. C-Ray A, T-I and G new throne. And a name appeared beneath it. Unknown known. I stared. Ethan whispered, This isn't over. No. I looked at the empty screen. For the first time, I smiled. It's finally starting.